Let us see what must begin between two who walk the same path. What's up, guys? Hello, Pencil here, and here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 53 of Kagurabachi, which is known as I Don't Know, because I'm on the first color page. I saw there were two color pages when I was preparing for this, and it doesn't have the chapter title, but it does have this clean, spicy, juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious image of my glorious King Chihiro and my new glorious King. I already forget his name. Gosh, but let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact: I do even to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact: why do they look so great? I actually do like the interpretation of Chihiro's scar being such a deep contrast to his facial features. I do hope they keep that, when this gets an anime. I know when it first came out, we're all memeing about it already having an anime and being out in in the 2010s or the 2000s, stuff like that. But when this gets an anime, I hope that contrast is kept, where he has the rest of his regular skin tone, and then you have that sharp shock of white as if it was magically scarred and something like that. I don't know. It's not as consistent across all the artwork, but I specifically like it drawn like this, where you can just so clearly see it against Chihiro, considering it's when you get a lot of face-on shots of Chihiro, it's actually a little bit hard to see his scar, so this would help it stand out a whole lot. And I love the deep saturated red for the eyes. I love the disgust on his face. I love how happy he looks. Is it Hikufuyu? No, that's not Hikufuyu. What? I don't know what. My brain just completely forgot this. What is his name? That's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Hold on. Wait, please. I gotta move faster. Man, should I start reviewing Danadan? I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared of that manga. My friend told me it's gonna be a scary one because I talked to him before about reviewing it. He's like, it's gonna be a little freaky, and not in the Hiruhiko. I literally like him. He's probably gonna be my favorite villain if he lasts more than this arc. If he ends up being the long-running antagonist for Chihiro, which may not be the case, never know. But if he does end up lasting long, HIRUHIKO, I like him. I like him a whole lot. I like his design, I like his fit, I like his abilities, I like his contrast to Chihiro specifically. So he looks clean. I do kind of wish. You know what? No, the blonde works. I think he works so well as a contrast, because look at the difference. Well, once again, this is a specialized color page, so maybe this is not meant to be HIRUHIKO's official colors. But one thing I like, sporting the contrast, well, they're both wearing deep, saturated black. I like the detail that Chihiro has deeply saturated red eyes, matching not matching, but slightly off from the blood that soaks him. Meanwhile, HIRUHIKO, considering it seems like, as he mentions, he was been slaughtered since a real young age. He popped out his mama slaughtered, essentially. He's very desaturated. He's very drained. He doesn't even have, the hope of life and the respect for it and the value of it and the appreciation of it that Chihiro does. So in contrast, being Chihiro's perfect opposite, despite them both being similar young men who walk down paths of destruction for the sake of great power, yeah, he stands as the exact opposite. Chihiro, deep black hair. HIRUHIKO, light blonde hair. Deep saturated eyes for Chihiro. Lightly or barely saturated eyes at all. Light orange in comparison to Chihiro's deep red. The multi-ring iris going on here. So where he has the outer ring and then the inner ring and then a weirdly contrasted pupil versus the solid one ring iris and the deep dark pupil. Everything is so well mirrored in their face. Heck, even the short hair to the long hair. It's so good. It is so. Hokuzono Sensei. Let me stop. But enough of the first color page and me glazing it. Let's actually hope into the second color page where I gotta do even more glazing. Look at these two, bro. I didn't even see that. Chapter 53, Darkness. But look at them. They're all clean. And I like how also Chihiro's a sword wielder, and so far HIRUHIKO doesn't have a single weapon on him. Other than obviously his paper things. But still, even the short sleeve, or the shorter sleeves in comparison to the longer sleeves, the cloak versus the no cloak, the tight pants versus the loose pants. Sometimes, I don't know. I try not to get into certain authors or anybody's head, but I like to imagine that Hokuzono Sensei literally sat down and was like, how can I make it the exact opposite of my main character? Design-wise, appearance-wise, everything. How can I do that? How can I make the exact opposite? And then he made HIRUHIKO. Like, literally, the only thing that overlaps between the two, it isn't direct polar opposites, is the color of their clothes. They both wear black. But a lot of characters in this universe wear black. So, like, obviously, I think that would make sense. And I think black, then again, no, since every character, I was about to say, maybe it's the signature of the Hishaku, but I don't think so. I think that's just, like, a coincidence. But, still, the contrast, it's too simple and it's too clean, all Kingdom Hearts, that I think it kind of has to be intentional. And I think it's a better way than it's a better way to have an evil Chihiro without just making an evil Chihiro. If anything, it reminds me a lot of Sonic and Shadow in terms of the direct opposition, despite being the same, both being the ultimate life form in their own sense, one genetically created versus one organically made from the world itself, both being fast for different reasons. Like there's a lot of overlapping contrast here to the point where I'm pretty confident it's darn near intentional. But once again, straight headcanon. Let's actually analyze the rest of the color page. Samura. I'll admit, kind of a basic color design, but I think it works. Once again, a lot of the characters in the series wear black, and maybe this is just how scars are done in this art style. And if that's the case, I hope they stay like that. The bright white shock of his scars too, the scars that he self-inflicted, of course, but still, those scars are really, really nice. Hokuzono. Those are really, really nice. I like the pure black blade he has going on here. This is nice. Is that meant to be his enchanted blade? I think maybe it is. Him having a pure black enchanted blade is really, really nice. I think that's cool. I love the detail in this. It's so, like, I'll probably just make a separate video glazing Hokuzono's art style, explaining why I do think other mangaka are better at some things in terms of, like, general detail. Like, I'm sorry, Kohei Horikoshi is still a monster. I know MHA's been over for a while now, but Kohei Horikoshi is still an absolute demon in terms of the artistic skill. But Hokuzono Sensei does such a fantastic job with the color pages in the mail. Ooh, and I like how Chihiro's wielding the blade, but notably none of his manifestations are around. None of the fish are. But you can see all of the blood red shikigami origami that HIRUHIKO uses. That's beautiful too. Man, I'm just glazing to him. But also Uruha's color design. Why do I feel like we've seen this before? Him having green hair for some reason does not shock me. It actually makes perfect sense, which makes me think I've seen it before. Yeah, I think I've seen it before. I think that one color page where we saw all the blade wielders, but they were like coded in a color, not necessarily properly colored as if it was their official color design. I think that's where I get the idea of green for... What is his... I think I literally just said it. What is his name? I call him Orochimaru in my head. That's just because I give him the Orochimaru. What? Gosh darn it! I'm sorry. I'm so bad with it. What is your name? What is it? Hold on. Mystic Blade. Blade. Wield. Blade. He mistyping. Kagurabachi. Why do I put the da on the end? I don't get it. What's wrong with me? Previous engine blade wielders. Please show me. Uruha. I didn't have to look. I didn't even have to fully finish it. Uruha. I said his name. I think I said it. If I didn't say his name, I must be going genuinely insane. But Uruha. I like his color design too. I like that his blade is actually multicolored. It kind of matches him very well too. Ironically enough, despite me not typically being a fan of the super muted green, it reminds me a lot of I actually do like how it works with him, and I think the white is a really good contrast. It makes him stand out a lot more, especially in a series where a bunch of characters wear black. And even just the fit itself looks really, really good in color. Overall, these first two color pages, Hokuzono Sensei was in the kitchen, wrist the whipping. I want to get down to nibbling. But let's see. Let's actually hop into the chapter itself. Chapter 53, Darkness. Wait, hold on. Let me use that first white page actually to my advantage a little bit. For editing me's sake. I've got you, buddy. I've got you, pal. Let's see. Kagurabachi. Good. And after just watching me once, Chihiro's got the Rokuhira eyes. He'd learn swordsmanship from you real quick. And he's still too young. The swordsmanship of a hero. Oh darn! Don't poke me. That's bad. Hey, what'd you do that for? I sense he was gazing at me in admiration. Just checking. I have uncles like Samura. Admittedly, they aren't blinding themselves to free themselves of worldly desires, but I have uncles like that who would like mess with you. And even older cousins, because admittedly, I have a very, very large family, and thusly there are large gaps between me and my cousins. So admittedly, I think some of them are like second. Yeah, legally speaking, yeah, some of them are my second cousins. And thusly there's like 20 years between us in age. And I'm already old, so think about that. But I do remember constantly being like the victim. I don't do it to any of my younger family members now. Typically, the only thing I'll do, I'll like pick them up. Because now they're getting bigger now. Age is catching up to me, and it's catching up with them. They're getting much bigger now, so it's harder to just lift them up off the ground when they're misbehaving. But that's about the only thing I do. But yeah, poking him in the eyes, because he feels that gaze, that respect, the glaze in his eyes. It makes sense. Just checking. Swinging a sword in a real battle isn't that great. You're cutting people, not straw. Somewhat are. Don't worry, Chihiro's smart. Don't get starry-eyed. We killed tons of people. And that's man, Hokuzono Sensei cook consistently. Like once again, especially for a manga that started out as a meme. I remember the leaks came out for this manga and everyone went crazy with it. Though it definitely calmed down a whole lot. The way that it's playing with the themes and the morality and forcefully, like, and I'd say Chihiro already is a pretty well-developed character by chapter 1. Like, he's not well-developed, but a well-established character by chapter 1, and generally decently along to a character arc. But the way that Hokuzono Sensei keeps playing with the ideas of heroism and slaughter and life and death, and how ultimately a lot of what Chihiro's doing, while it's for the greater good, is it really? Or what he believes once and the beliefs he may still hold to some degree, are they truly valid beliefs if he himself is doing what those heroes once did and is being looked at like this? Sure, to him, the Mystic Blade Wielders were being regarded as heroes, people who helped save the nation, who ended a gargantuan war. But ultimately, it's all the same. Violence begets violence, and violence in the eyes of those who not partake in it, and even those who do partake in it, as we see with Samura, admittedly he doesn't have the eyes to partake in it anymore, it's just pain, suffering, and terrifying. Like, sure, we as action readers or watchers love seeing John Wick, or in this case Chihiro, or any warrior in our combat series just tear through the enemy. And obviously it's very triumphant when they overcome hard odds and take down somebody. But if you were just walking down the street, or to follow the example they present here in the manga, watching a play, and suddenly somebody breaks through the roof wielding a sword, slicing through 7 people, and their blood's getting everywhere and nearly hitting you, yeah, you would also respond in terror and hope that you weren't next. So, like, I get it, and I like how we're actually playing with that, and seeing how Chihiro's going to have to deal with that, considering the more and more he finds out about the Enchanted Blades, and the more and more he experiences through his own journey, he's realizing the darkness that really outlines what he once viewed as so pure. And once again, I'm very interested to see, in the long run, what we learn about his daddy, and how Kunishige Rokuhira, someone who in Chihiro's eyes was so calm, so kind, so pure, admittedly, seemingly not all there at times, considering how relaxed and sometimes idiotic he was, how he could create such potent weapons of mass destruction. What moved him to that, what allowed him to that, and the darkness that is slowly but surely, or has always and is now being released, within Chihiro Rokuhira, how it existed inside Kunishige Rokuhira. I'm interested. Oh, we got it. But with it being the case, let's see. I'm the only one who can understand you. We could be friends. I mean, like, though notably, I do think, I can definitely understand what Hirohiko's talking about here. Like, ultimately, you do want to be friends with people who can understand you. At the same time, it's good to have a diverse pool. You don't want to just surround yourself with people who agree with all that you agree on. If you did, then life would kind of get boring. Like, I think of my own friend group, and it's a bunch of different people. Bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds with a bunch of different histories. All of us with their own unique perspective. Of course, we align on some things. Like, we wouldn't be friends if we had no shared interests. But ultimately, it is good to have a variety of people around you. And even if not friends, acquaintances, a network of people who are diverse. Because you never know. Some people experience different things. That's the beauty of humans. We may be like, 99.7% the same genetically? And maybe like 91% banana, apparently. I forget what the actual number is, but apparently we just share, like, biologically, we share a whole lot with a banana. And like a lot of other living things, as, you know, living is hard for the universe to produce. We are really, really lucky. And with that being the case, it is more favorable to find people who agree with you, but ultimately, you want to enjoy that 0.3% difference. Because a lot can happen in just 0.3%. But let's see. What are you talking about? Do you want to kill me or not? Let's see. I want to kill you, and I want to be friends. I think maybe we can become friends by trying to kill each other. I've never had a friend before, so I don't know. But I think that's right. Crazy thing is, by shonen logic, he's not wrong. Think of Is there at least one shonen where friends in it have not, or battle shonen at least, where friends in it have not tried to off each other? I'm thinking of all the big three. I don't know. Once again, I don't know One Piece. I don't know One Piece one. Has Luffy ever? No. I doubt Luffy. I think like a big part of Luffy's character that apparently he doesn't kill. So like, I don't think so. But has Zoro ever tried to kill Luffy? I know he like started off as a bounty hunter, but I actually forget how their interaction goes because I never read it. But I know in One Piece, Uryu and Ichigo. Well, they don't try to kill each other. They do get into a lot of conflicts, and then by the thousand year blood war, you can make arguments. Dragon Ball, no duh. I mean, all of Goku's friends are people who try to kill him. Even Bulma. What do you think? Even Bulma tried to kill Goku. Hit him with a car that shot him. So like, from his first friend ever to his latest friends, like his biggest rival to this day, one of the more popular characters in Dragon Ball, Vegeta, trying to kill him. So that's big. That's Big Daddy Shonen. I can tell for a fact Sasuke tried to kill Naruto a bunch of times. So like that's a thing. Even Naruto. Well, I wouldn't say Naruto ever tried to kill Sasuke. That's the one thing. It never really goes backwards that way. But typically, yeah, in Battle Shonen. You know what? Dare I say, Battle Shonen is sort of an exaggeration of life in some sense. So, Hiruhiko's right on that front. But also, I would say some of my closest friends now are people who used to be rivals, quote unquote. Of course, we never tried to slaughter each other, but we always did try to outdo each other. Heck, we still do today when we play games and stuff like that. Like, we always try to win. We always try to beat each other. So, in that sense, the idea of just slaughtering each other and doing extreme serious battle is technically, yeah, a way of bonding. It's just a strange way of bonding and more extreme in the fictional sense of a shonen universe. But let's see. But I like how Hiruhiko just doesn't really know. He admits that he's confused. I'm like, I think this is the right way to do it. We'll figure it out as we go along. And that does make sense. But what doesn't make sense, though, is that they're trying to kill Chihiro. Because ultimately, Kura? I believe it's Kura. Let me see. Kura. Kagurabachi. I think it's Kura. Please tell me I did a good job. I remember Uraha before I fully got to him. No, it's not his name. It's not his name. It's not Kura. What is it? Where are you? Where are the Hishaku? In fact, let me just look up that directly. Let me look up unless they'll pop up. It's not popping up. Yeah. Let me see. Hishaku. Yura, not Kura. Yura. Yeah, Yura, the supposed leader of the Hishaku. At least I think that's supposed to be him. Yeah, Yura. So, Yura didn't try to off him. At least if we're supposed to assume that guy we saw was Yura, I'm pretty sure. Once again, the wiki didn't immediately pop up and assume that. But still, Yura, he didn't try to kill Chihiro. If anything, he was trying to bait Chihiro into wasting a whole bunch of energy against him. And maybe would have tried to kill him if Hiyuki didn't show up and like try to step in, but I still highly doubt that. Once again, they don't seem to be actively intentioned in slaughtering Chihiro. So I wonder if technically this is a way of Hiruhiko going off-brand, or if he's once again just trying to bait out more Chihiro's negative tendencies and really try to get him to understand that we are the same by just forcing his hand and actually trying to get him to kill him, even though Hiruhiko himself really has no intention to do it. And it would explain why he still wants to be friends and why he's actively confused with Chihiro. I was like, maybe. Let's see. That makes no sense. You read shonen? Does shonen exist in your universe, my friend? And not even just it's like a common thing in fiction. For some reason, if two characters fight and both of them are alive at the end of it, there's like a 50-50 to 75-25% shot that they become friends afterwards. But let's see. Ooh, once again, the use of putting Kodan to shame already. But let's see, paper. All you know how to do is run away. You have an enchanted blade. Unprotected close combat would be me basically giving up my own life. That is true. Interesting, though, that Ishaku is blatantly saying that, because Yoda didn't seem to have any care. Yeah, Yoda. Let's see. Besides, so much paper. He's completely concealed himself. How is he? I wonder if this is this coming from his own spirit energy? If so, he has a lot of it. Let's see. Oh! I'll have to use whatever I can. Oh. So that is very interesting. So he has, like, dominion over everything and can genuinely actively teleport not just himself, but other people with his paper. Or if not teleport, move them well enough within a paper storm that it might as well be teleportation. And yeah, I'm honestly impressed. Considering Chihiro is in a fight for his life right now, I'm impressed that he managed to swing, likely with the intent to lethally harm HIRUHIKO, and still stop himself. So that's very impressive. Okay, Chihiro, show that fine motor control. Whoa. Interesting though. It kind of looks like these people are becoming paper, but I think that's just meant to be them, like, being overlapped by it. The audience members. Ugh. Where is he? That is a good question. Ooh, what is this? He can detect my location with the paper. He stays hidden and attacks with cranes. These cranes are strong enough to slash through a body. Ooh, yes, I like that Chihiro's, like, compiling all the information he's gotten already. A direct hit will be lethal. Are you paralyzed yet? Perhaps your power to absorb doesn't apply to physical objects. The fact that you don't use it is my answer. If you use Kuro, you could clear the paper to see better, but you might also hurt innocent bystanders. You could use Nishiki to move about quickly, but the cranes chasing you would also hurt the innocents. So, you'll just hold your ground and focus on defending yourself. With other people around, you have to be careful with that sword. You're doomed to a death by 1,000 cuts. There's no way out. Interesting. So that's an interesting idea, right? That ultimately Kuro's ability does fully rely, or the power to absorb does fully rely on the thing that's being absorbed being non-corporeal. This has been implied for a while, from it absorbing lightning to absorbing fire. So essentially it needs to be closer to a form of, if not flat out energy. Anything physical will not work. That does make me wonder though, could he hypothetically use, I believe it's Kuro, to make a vacuum? I mean, of course, it'd be deadly to himself, but, like, in a way to catch off his opponent. Say he's in an intense battle where he's blocking and dealing with an opponent, and he's breathing, right? And you can tell that if he times it right, if he breathes at the right point and creates a vacuum by absorbing all the air, could that work? Or is air too non-corporeal? Does it still need to be something mostly interactable? Because technically we do interact with air, we breathe all the time, but maybe he still can't absorb that and can't create, like, a temporary or false vacuum. Or maybe the absorption isn't fast enough for him to do something like that. No. I was like, don't worry. They'll show you the way through. Ooh. Oof. Stay away. To the average person, you're a monster. And yeah. I mean, like, and in a good way, that's, like, once again, I would also be genuinely terrified if I saw somebody slice through people. I'm afraid I am simply not built like that. I could not dare overcome or risk that. That is a little bit scary for a guy like me. To the average person, you're a monster. Look at how much fun HIRUHIKO's having now. The play that was just interrupted. There's a scene where the enemy takes hostages. The hero, Sasuke, is paralyzed, and the enemy gets away. But Sasuke is garbage. You can't worry about a hostage or two. In real life, you'd be dead. You're a killer, but at the moment of truth, you want to play the hero, as if you weren't just a monster. Chihiro Rokuhira, I want this to resonate with you. You're one of us. So interesting. He is given... It's interesting. Chainsaw Man, slight spoilers for Chainsaw Man. I'm going to get too specific, but Chainsaw Man recently had a moment that reminded me of another moment from JJK, and here I'm getting a lot of Mahito vibes from, very specifically, HIRUHIKO here, from the idea that we're the same, and to the idea that I want to prove that we're the same. Not just the idea that I know we're the same, we walk the same path because I can see the obvious facts of it, but also I will do everything in my power to prove that my perspective on our dual existence is correct, whether or not you like it. That gives me heavy Mahito vibes. And the using of people, and innocent specifically, to do that also reminds me of Mahito. It's like, I don't know, baby, JK. Look at you whipping up and inspiring other people. Once again, obviously this is a general common trope, but that's what my mind immediately leaps to in terms of direct recent inspirations and recent examples of it. But that is interesting. It's interesting to see that HIRUHIKO is so focused on basically aligning Chihiro with them. Because ultimately, right, even if he does, that would actually be worse, right? Because if Chihiro's mentality breaks to be more like that of the Hishaku, where people are no more than puppets to be ruled over or tools to be used, then like, how do you slow him down? How do you stop him? Especially as he continues to get stronger, more powerful, more adept. He would just stop caring about any hostages you throw at him, ultimately leaving him in a state like this where he's still concerned about his own personal image and people are still effective against him. As you admit, fighting him head on would be foolish if you force him into a scenario or break his mentality to the point where he is more than willing to just wild out against anybody and everybody just because he can. Aren't you putting yourself in like extreme lethal danger? I mean, I wouldn't risk that. If anything, I'd want to double down. I would keep forcing Shiro to do the opposite. I don't want you to align with me. I want you to get further and further away from me. That way I can keep exploiting that part of you. Because that's easy to manipulate. When you have something that you'll always know works against the person, you want them to keep that weakness. I brought this up before. It may have been in last week's video or maybe in another video. But I have a friend who always falls for the one mix-up. I never go low against him. If I'm playing base Vegeta, Bardock B, and Trunks, I know for a fact I can always hit him with high. No matter what. I've told him this before. Admittedly, maybe I fall in the back a little bit. I told him this before. I'm like, dude, I never have to go low against you. You always block. Every single time. It's the same mix-up. It is the same. I never do anything fancy with it. It is Kurosoko Dash, square, Bardock B, high. And I take 20, the lowest 20 if I'm doing really bad on combos that day, but sometimes 40% of your health. Heaven forbid I have bar. So like, it's just a weakness. It's not even a 50-50 anymore. It's 100-100. But in spite of that, I've never told him my tell for it. Like typically against other people, I'll always judge and literally I'll do it myself. I'll just think, okay, do I go up or down? I'll think in the moment, but against him I don't. I just go for the high all the time. I don't even think anymore. And that's technically a weakness that he could exploit, but never does. And I wanted to keep that way because that's just an easy way to get him. That's why I always play that team against him. My main team isn't Vegeta, Bardock B, and Trunks. My main team. Hey, my main team ain't nothing like that. Though it's one of my main teams, but still, it's like a sub team. I don't main base Vegeta or Bardock. I mean 4 and 21 Android. I mean, technically, it goes back and forth whether I use Android or Lab Code, but those are typically my mains. That or GT, because I'm a terrible person. I'll admit, I'm a terrible person, but I play Trunks, all right? You know, I gotta have my fun. But with it being the case, sometimes you want to keep him that way. So I'm interested that HIRUHIKO's willing to sacrifice that advantage and attempt to even break Chihiro. But of course, Chihiro being the hero is most likely going to resist, but let's see how. Uh-oh. Come. Let's battle to the death. Just you and me. Uh-oh. All these people floating around Chihiro, he's standing there. Uh-oh. What is that? Is he activating an ability? Looks like it. HIRUHIKO, what's happening? You're Sasuke too, aren't you? Ah, yep. So he's just willing to take the damage. Interesting though. I think something is going to happen. But I like that HIRUHIKO is genuinely disappointed. He's like, oh, man, you're so boring. Because you're so, and I guess that does become a thing, right? Maybe it's bad. Maybe I should start playing other teams against them. Maybe this is teaching me a lesson. Because I guess it would get boring. Then again, that guy can still take games off me. Just because I have one solid mixer that works on him, that doesn't mean I suddenly beat him every single time. It's still like 50-50 every single time we play. And it may be 100-100 if I get the high, but that's it. That's the only part of that matchup that's the same. But HIRUHIKO is realizing that, yeah, Chihiro is the generic hero, and this is that he will not attack innocents, even when this would be the more optimal scenario. He does not value his life and the victory over his enemies more than he does the life of the innocents, which is a good thing for Chihiro. And once again, will sort of, I'm assuming, is going to feed into HIRUHIKO's desire to break him more. He does look disappointed here, but I wouldn't be shocked if this made HIRUHIKO triple down his investment and be like, no, I'm gonna break you. One way or another, you gonna end up just like me, for real, for real. But let's see. Ugh. The first time I got a person, I couldn't stand to see the severed flesh. That's the other reason why I blinded myself. Well, that image is burned into my eyes. It never goes away. I could feel myself becoming a monster. But even so, you chose to wield an enchanted sword to save everyone, right? Yes. I had to just keep flailing through the darkness. But that's not something to aspire to. I'm going to hell. Darn. Huh. And instead of admiring you, I'll respect you. Great. You're welcome to do that. You're not trying to become a swordsman anyway, right? Right. Are you trying to become a hero? Oh, so that's why the cranes are bloody. Okay, I thought the paper was just meant to be red, but no, they're bloody because they literally dove through a person's blood. But that's interesting. So Chihiro, he respects the blade wielders, but he doesn't admire them. Because he doesn't want to admire monsters. He just wants to respect and be in awe of their power. That does make sense though, right? I mean, I don't think I admire people who are much physically stronger, much physically like. I don't admire Usain Bolt, but I definitely respect the fact that his speed is untouched, unrivaled. Like he's just the fastest, and that I can see that difference. Where ultimately admiration would sort of like override any critiques or issues that a person has. Meanwhile, respect is respecting that specific aspect of them, respecting their strength, respecting their speed, respecting their intelligence, stuff like that. Let's see.
Oh, he clean with it. Oh, why is he clean with it?
The fortification of Nishiki. Still, he can increase his body's resistance. But even so, okay, so that's what that was. That's what this engagement was from Nishiki. But even so, Father and the Sword Bearers fought to protect others. They were definitely heroes. They avoided that label because they felt guilty for their sins. Yeah, I still want to know why he did it. Like, he's already gone. It's too late to recharacterize him. He's already dead. But still, I want to know why. I want to know how. I want to know who. That's why they also say the same thing. Find your own path, different from mine. Don't choose the underworld like us. Sorry, I'm going down the same path too. Uh-oh. Oh no, Kuro.
What?
Wait, hold on. Brightness. I summon you full power. What? Oh, he is cooked. That is hard. What in the world? Oh my. Golly, look. He's like, wait. Where did you think you were going to be built like that? Wait. Looks like he's not well, he is Sasuke, but he ain't that Sasuke. The Sasuke HIRUHIKO of everything.
Golly!
He's so clean with it, God. Darn. Finished, bro. Arm gone. Huh? What? Straight in the mark. Huh? What happened? Don't worry. I'm a sinner too. The first time I killed a person, I accepted that I'm a monster. The least I could do was refrain from causing harm to others and take the Hishaku fools to the underworld with me. Now, talk. That came out so weak. But yeah, this chapter's worthy. Please, but don't get rid of HIRUHIKO this quick. Make him come back stronger. Make him come back better. Okay. All right. So please keep this character. Please don't go to something. Please don't. You just introduce such an interesting concept. Please don't do it. Save him. Yura. Is it Yura? Kura? Which one is it? Come back. What? Not gosh darn. Who's the leader? Yura, please come save HIRUHIKO, please. But overall, an amazing chapter. Once again, playing with the themes of herohood, being a monster, the darkness that comes with taking lives, the pain that one would feel from it, the differences that makes them, the ability to choose and understand one's own destiny and how their own perception and how they feel about themselves versus how others may view them, the idea of abandoning one's admiration and replacing it with respect, the feeling of isolation versus what that isolation can do for others and what it can't do for others, the impact of Chihiro's willingness to still walk in a certain path but ultimately realize that in the end he's still a monster for taking life in the first place. All of that, it's so gas! It's okay! It's okay! So overall, a 10 out of 10 job. From the color pages to the chapter itself, I don't even know what is it. I think I'm gonna, just because of how I make my thumbnails, if you can't tell, they always look slightly different from the chapters. It's because I edit them a whole bunch. I can't use this page, But golly, this page, I'm gonna use the color pages. Once again, I kind of don't even want to spoil that. I want to keep that. So if someone's reading the chapter with me, but still, oh, it's so clean.
Oh, it's so clean. But
If you read all the way to the end of this video, please leave Uchiha. Like, you know, Sasuke Uchiha, leave Uchiha. UCHICHA, I think that's how you spell Uchiha. Uchiha, I believe, in the comment section down below. I have to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1. Come on, exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions during the series I happen to review, ad free variations of all my videos, and if you come into my Patreon or become a member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Zach with a pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, G Prosper, and Glacier XZ. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Igneo Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine and Austin Wimberly, A Uchiha, along with Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 members, Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final, giga, legendary, superhuman, beyond the bounds of reality thank you to our That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, okay, Calvin Elder.